What's going on? We back, Good Fella Sports TV. Antonio Brown fired back at Ryan Clark, calling him Uncle Tom for his comments about AB. But yeah, we back in the building. Good Fella Sports TV. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. I'll link articles in the description proving this to be factual and not fake news. I always source my news and my rumors for the most part. But yeah, man. You know, AB. If you don't know, we've been talking about this for the last couple of days. AB, Antonio Brown, wide receiver for the Steelers, got mad at Big Ben. It was known as an anonymous teammate. He threw a football at Big Ben. They got mad. They known the beef over the years, but he didn't return to practice all week. Showed up to the game expecting to suit up. They benched him. And they said it was a knee injury, but they just benched him. Then he left at halftime. Then he got this iced out GOAT ring saying that he the greatest of all time. He's 30 years old. So right now he might be leaving his physical peak prime, but he isn't a technician when it comes to route running. So he probably can, age gracefully, especially if he take care of his body. But Ryan Clark said this is where pretty much the Steelers trade him. Okay, this is what he said. This is where Mike Tomlin has to put his foot down and shop Antonio Brown. Clark said you have to take that stand. You have to. Time for him to go. And then, during that interview, Antonio Brown put in the comment section, Uncle Tom, okay? He also said that the fame has changed Antonio Brown, okay? He said, now that he got some fame and some fortune, that it's changed him since he was this 6th or 7th round draft pick that worked his way up. And, and Antonio Brown had some tough times, His mom remarried. They kicked him out the house. He didn't have good enough grades to go to Florida State. He had to go to JUCO route. I think he ended up at Central Michigan. And then he was a late round draft pick. So, he's been immature his whole life. And, maturity ain't been his thing. He still ain't matured. He got all this money. He think he on top of the world. Most people recognize him as the best receiver going into this year. And, Ryan Clark, a lot of dudes that switch over to the media is seen as buck dancers. They're seen as buck dancers. You see how Chris Webber got mad at Jalen Rose and said he crossed over to the media. He started telling stuff about the Fab Five. But then again, ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. Chris Webber is in the media. Okay? Chris Webber is in the media now. He talking about Jalen Rose. You never know. Antonio Brown could be in the media. All right? Real talk. He could be in the media one day. So at the end of the day, most players feel betrayed when some players go to the media and then start telling, what's going down in the locker room and start giving their opinion from that aspect. And, is Uncle Tom fitting for this? I don't think Uncle Tom is fitting for the comment that he made. But I understand where Antonio Brown is coming from. A dude that pretty much forgot where he came from, put a suit and a tie on. So a lot of them dudes at ESPN and Fox. And they forget where they came in. And now your peers, who moved on, retired, got a job in the media. Now they using their platform to basically clout chase. He could have said a lot of different things about Antonio Brown and kept it bland and just kept it moving. But for him to go out his way to try to tear down another black dude, Antonio Brown, I understand why he called him Uncle Tom. I do. He could have said something else. But if it was another teammate or so it was Big Ben, he don't be out here tearing down Big Ben. So then again, you got to rethink what I just said. Honestly, just talking myself into it. That was the proper saying, because if he ain't going to put no culpability on Big Ben, if that's a fucking word, excuse me, if that's a word, if he ain't going to make Big Ben culpable, okay, then, he ain't never blast Big Ben. Big Ben is known for a track record to be a finger pointer, and it took Shannon Sharp to really come out on social media and tell TMZ as well that Big Ben is always getting away with BS, okay? He always doing stuff and getting away with it. And that's true. Going back to the stuff he had going on in college, to again, it coming back in the pros about the women, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him pointing the finger, him throwing interceptions, then blaming somebody else. He never accepts responsibility for himself, but you don't see Ryan Clark going out there blasting Ben Roethlisberger. But as soon as Antonio Brown act out, he want to blast the brother. And then you got a few other cases when James Harrison went on Undisputed and was telling basically the world that the players was broken. That's why they took the CBA, because most players didn't have no money, they needed to check. Most people said he was whistleblowing, okay? So when you go to the media, you got to remember that at one point you was part of the locker room, and the game is to be sold, not to be told. You're supposed to keep that low key, and they be giving the world the insight to the locker room. If you played on a high school level, college level, or shit, Pop Warner level, PAL level, will stay in the locker room, will go in the locker room, and stay in the locker room. Truth be told. You know, what goes on stays in there. You ain't supposed to be around here whistleblowing. You know, and that's what these dudes in the media is doing. They got to have a certain code when you go from crossing, you know, the field lines to crossing into the media lines. You got to have some type of code, man, for real. There's certain things you don't touch on. There's certain players I ain't going to say nothing. Now, if I feel like he ain't giving an effort, or he need to prove his route running, or he need to prove his jump shot, or he need to, you know, a little bit of attitude adjustment, okay, I'm going to tread lightly, but I'm not going to just go out here and blast these dudes and forget that one day I used to spat up. One day I used to put the ankle sleeve on, or one day, you know, I used to put the headband on. I used to dribble the ball. I used to warm up. I used to exchange blows on the field. They forget that, and by the end, when you forget who you are, you forget that. But then again, I think Antonio Brown, and I'd be remiss if I say that because I'm working on a documentary about Uncle Tom's Cabin. And Uncle Tom don't even mean Uncle Tom. You know, most people think Uncle Tom is a buck dancer, a raccoon. You catch my drift? That ain't what it mean. They branded Uncle Tom with that name, and that's not the right brand. You know what I'm saying? So people need to go research about what the real Uncle Tom is about. So he needs to go ahead and take that back. Go ahead and call him a raccoon, code word, and stop using Uncle Tom. People, go research what Uncle Tom mean. Uncle Tom Cabin. I have the book right here somewhere in my house. Okay, go research the meaning of that. He ain't no Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom don't even mean you a buck dancer or you a raccoon. All right? It don't mean that. So a lot of players need to get educated. And these dudes that went to college, and I'm going to do this documentary sometime this year. I'm going to do it right to educate people on the real meaning of Uncle Tom and who he really was. But I don't have time for that. Goodfellas Sports TV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. We on Facebook, Twitter. Got a Facebook group. My email is in the description as well. Check us out. Reach out to me if you got a question, business inquiry, video request, whatever it may be. You want to make a donation. That link's there as well. Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.